Hello, MacLaren. My name is Miss Grieshaber, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about St. Bernards, the pass, the man, and the dogs. In Switzerland, the St. Bernard embodies dignity, devotion, and sacrifice. The story that makes these dogs a Swiss cultural icon began in the year 1049, high up in the western Alps of the canton of Valais in Switzerland. At an altitude of 2,469 meters, approximately 8,100 feet, stands the Great St. Bernard Pass, the third highest road pass in Switzerland, a 49-mile mountain route between the Aosta Valley in Italy and the Swiss canton or state of Valais. As the lowest pass, lying on the ridge between the two highest mountains in the Alps, Mont Blanc and Monte Rosa, the St. Bernard Pass was the route used by the French and Germans on their way to Rome. Known as the most dangerous part of the Western Alps, the temperatures are so frigid that the lake is frozen for roughly 265 days per year, and the pass is covered in 7 to 8 feet of snow, with drifts sometimes reaching 40 feet deep, making it prone to massive avalanches. During the first half of the 11th century, the pass was notorious for being extremely dangerous. In addition to the winter storms, holdups were commonplace, and many pilgrims and travelers fell victim to attacks by alpine bandits. Saint Bernard de Montjoux, also commonly referred to as Bernard de Menthon, a descendant from a rich, noble French family, decided as an adult to devote himself to the church. He served as the archdeacon of Aosta in Italy. Aosta was founded by Augustus in 24 BC. In 1945, it became the regional capital of northwestern Italy. In the pictures, you can see the ruins of Porta Praetora, the eastern gate to the city, and the southern facade of the Roman theater. As a monk and a missionary serving in the mountain villages near the Swiss-Italian border, Bernard spent a lot of his time talking to many travelers, and after a while, he became concerned about the number of people he met who had been robbed by bandits or who had barely survived the treacherous winter conditions. To make the pass a safer place for travelers, he founded the Great St. Bernard Hospice. You can see the hospice in the pictures. The hospice provided a welcome refuge and a meeting place for travelers, and as of 1125, it was also a place of worship run by Augustinian monks. Between 1660 and 1670, the hospice acquired its first dogs. The first documented evidence that there were dogs at the hospice are in the form of 2 paintings from 1690 by Salvatore Rosa. Notice that the dogs don't look like the St. Bernards that we see today. It's said that the St. Bernard is descended from dogs that were gifted to the monks by families from the cantons of Vaud and Valais. These dogs were likely an assortment of cart-pushing mastiffs, French hounds, and Asiatic bulldogs, descended from those imported in Roman times. They were originally bred to guard and protect the hospice residents, thereby continuing the work of Bernard de Menthon and his mission to restore security to this mountainous region. At the turn of the century, maronniers, or servants, were assigned to accompany travelers between the hospice and Bourg Saint-Pierre. They were almost always accompanied by the dogs, whose broad chests helped clear paths through the snow for the travelers. It was at this time that the maronniers discovered the dog's remarkable abilities, rescuing travelers lost in the mountains and finding people buried under snow. Their ability to be out in the cold for extended periods of time, coupled with their excellent sense of smell and direction, being able to navigate through fog and snowstorms, enabled these dogs to become heroes, rescuing travelers who were lost who were caught and buried in avalanches, and who were injured. None of the dogs received any special training from the monks. The younger dogs learned to perform search and rescue operations from the older dogs. While on rescue excursions, if the dog found a traveler buried, they would dig through the snow until they got to the person, and one dog would then lie on the person to provide them warmth, while others would return to the hospice to alert the monks. Until the middle of the 19th century, St. Bernards were primarily known as saint dogs, noble steeds, and most commonly, Barry dogs. Barry is the most famous dog to ever live at the hospice. During his 12 years there, it is said that he rescued at least 40 people. This is Barry. His heroism probably came in varied forms, leading lost travelers through whiteouts, tracking fallen pilgrims, maybe saving overturned carriages that were about to plummet into ravines. But it's unlikely that he was physically capable of doing some of the things legends give him credit for. Things like flinging a toddler onto his back and carrying him back to safety out of a snowstorm, as this picture predicts. However, it was the tales told by Napoleon Bonaparte's soldiers that helped forge the reputation of the Barry dog as a devoted and sacrificial beast who rescued the lost and the injured. Between 1790 and 1810, Napoleon and 250,000 of his soldiers crossed the St. Bernard Pass to enter Italy, and not one soldier lost their life to what they called the White Death. The cask, or the barrel that hangs from the dog's neck, is something almost everyone associates with the St. Bernard. However, most people believe the cask is simply a legend and that it was not something worn by the dogs. It's likely that this legend began with the painting that you just saw, Alpine Mastiffs Reanimating a Distressed Traveler, by Sir Edwin Henry Landseer. He painted a small cask on one of the dogs for artistic purposes only. Although the cask's origins and whether it was actually used are disputed, some contend that the little wooden barrel attached to the dog's collar had a part to play in rescue missions. It was thought that there might be alcohol inside that could temporarily restore a person's blood flow. As the many descriptions of the St. Bernard prove, this little barrel, regardless of whether it's authentic or not, has contributed to the dog's iconic image. In the 1820s, several mountain accidents almost made the Barry line of dogs die off completely. Trying to replenish the breed, the monks crossed Barry's type with Newfoundlands, thinking that the extra size would make them even hardier. However, what they got is the huge dog that we know today, with awkwardly large feet, thick fur that's prone to get snow clumps stuck in it, and significantly reduced stamina, making them a poor replacement for the rescue dogs they once had. In 1955, we have the last recorded date that the dogs were used in rescues. In 2004, although the hospice still had 18 dogs, they were mostly there for traditional purposes and for the tourists to enjoy. So in 2005, the Barry Foundation took over the St. Bernard breeding kennels from the monks at the Great St. Bernard Monastery. So here's a short video of what the dogs are up to today. Enjoy and have a good day.
It's a crisp morning at Champay-Lac, and Jennifer Beale is taking some St. Bernards for a walk. This corner of the Alps has been the breed's home since the 1700s, when the first dogs arrived at the St. Bernard Hospice, a refuge perched on a treacherous mountain pass. With their strong sense of smell and direction, the dogs soon began to rescue travelers buried in avalanches. Over the next 2 centuries, they saved more than 2,000 lives. 10 years ago, the monks of the hospice finally parted with the legendary dogs, and the Fondation Barry was formed to look after them.
I was president of the Swiss St. Bernard clubs, and I felt responsible to find a solution to continue with this very old tradition.
Now the dogs roam the mountains in summer and spend winters at the Foundation's kennels, where a devoted team of carers and trainers make sure they're healthy, happy, and active.
They do zootherapy and they go to the school for the kids, demonstration for the people, and walk with people. They are very smart and very stubborn and very friendly. They like people.
The dogs' rescue days are over, and the puppies born at the kennels now find homes around the world. But wherever they are, the St. Bernards remain a Swiss icon.